Now before I start this video, I just want to say that this is just my favourites bookshelf. All of my other books are in my bedroom, on the floor and under the bed, and I will show you quickly now what that mess looks like. As I told you, it's not very pretty. There are books everywhere in my bedroom, and there are hundreds more under the bed. But let's get on with the video. So I don't think these two books need any introduction. Of course it is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare and Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. Cassie Clare is one of my favourite authors. She writes the Shadowhunter books, and these two are the Dark Artifices books, and honestly they are incredible. Her writing has got so much better, and these two books definitely show that. So the next book is the Hogwarts Library. I've just found out that this is worth over £500, which is just absolutely insane. And it includes Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Quidditch Through the Ages, and The Tales of Beedle the Bard. The next book is Demi Lovato, Staying Strong, a Journal. It's just full of notes for people with mental health, and it just makes you feel amazing. The next book is the Harry Potter Slytherin edition. Of course I am a hardcore Slytherin, so I couldn't not get this book for the anniversary. The next books are the Magisterium Trials. There are 3 in the series at the moment by Cassandra Clare. The 4th one is out very, very soon, and I absolutely adore them. It is such an underrated series, and it's got very Harry Potter vibes. The next book is The Play of Sweeney Todd. I have seen this so many times, and when I went I had to get a new piece of merchandise every time, and this was what I picked up the first time I ever saw it live. The next book is one of the best books ever written, and it is Dracula by Bram Stoker. If you're looking for a good book to read this Halloween, I would most definitely suggest this one because vampires are awesome. The next books are the Percy Jackson series. These were the first ones that came out. The Lightning Thief is one of my favourite books of all time, and this series is incredible. Read these books if you like mythology. The next series I'm sure needs no introduction. It is Shadowhunters, The Mortal Instruments. They're the first YA books I ever read, and they are just absolutely sensational. They aren't as good as her newer work, but I have such a special connection to this series and the Shadow World. These 3 books here are part of the Kane Chronicles. Now again, if you like Egyptian mythology this time, these ones are Greek mythology and these ones are Egyptian. And honestly, I prefer these to the Percy Jackson books. I love Egypt and all things Egyptology, so if you're the same, you will definitely enjoy these books. So we have Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This book is absolutely amazing, and it's got circus vibes. It is all a bit creepy, and it's a great thriller. This actually isn't a book. This is a little book that I got made for my husband to celebrate Valentine's Day. Shouldn't really be on this shelf seeing as it's a favourites bookshelf, but it's still very cute. The next 2 are by E. Lockhart. I absolutely adore her. These are signed versions of Genuine Fraud and We Were Liars. She is such a great author. They are great thriller books. And as you probably know, thriller is my favourite genre, especially in YA, so make sure you go and pick those up. Now we have a little bit of a Fletcher section. I absolutely adore the Fletcher family. We have The Christmas Saurus by Tom Fletcher. I'm going to see this in the theatre soon. We have 2 copies of his latest book, The Creakers, and we have a signed copy of Giovanna Fletcher's Happy Mom, Happy Baby. This is now also a podcast, which is fantastic if you hadn't checked it out. Move on to a series that has kind of disappointed me. It is Sarah J Maas's A Court of Thorn and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, and A Court of Wings and Ruin. I absolutely adored the first 2. This one was released earlier this year, and it is such a disappointment. It just felt rushed, it was nowhere near good enough, and it was just a no from me. Now this here is my Will Hill section. If you've been a follower of my channel for a while, you will know how much I love Will. I have the proof copy of After the Fire, the finished copy of After the Fire, and the Isabella Book Club version of After the Fire. This book is my favourite book ever. I think I must have got around 100 people to buy and read this book. So if you like thrillers and you love YA and you like something a bit different that steers away from the usual tropes of YA, this is definitely the book for you. And then, of course, Will Hill wrote this Department 19 series. This is a series about vampires, and it is amazing. I adore vampires, so I was always going to love this, but this is probably my favourite vampire series of all time. So, firstly, we have The Witch's Kiss and The Witch's Tears. These are part of the Witch's Kiss trilogy. The newest one comes out in March next year. These books are a really easy read, they are fantastic, and Kate and Liz are the most amazing people you could ever meet. The next series is the Maze Runner books. I'm sure no one needs introduction to these. They are amazing and really successful films. I am very, very excited for A Death Cure to come out in film because I absolutely adore the films and I actually thought they were just as good as the books. I actually talk about these books over on my channel and Twitter all the time. These are of course the Potion Diaries series by Amy Allwood. Amy is one of my favourite YA authors and this trilogy is amazing. It follows Samantha Kemi and she is an alchemist and there's magic, princesses and fun and it's just excellent. The next book is The Extinction Trials by Susan Wilson. Now, this book doesn't come out until January next year, and it has dinosaurs, so what more could you want? It's a mixture of The Hunger Games and Jurassic Park, and I am very excited for this one. Now, the next section is my Alex Bell section. I absolutely adore her. Horror is one of my favourite genres, so we have The Haunting, Frozen Charlotte, and Charlotte Says. They are so creepy. They feature dolls that come to life and make you do creepy things. And this one was in the Zoella Book Club, so you know it's a good one. And then we have Moxie by Jennifer Matthew. Now, this book is one of the best feminine reads of 2017. It is really uplifting, really empowering, so make sure you check this one out. And then we have the Clockwork Prince, Clockwork Angel and Clockwork Princess. Again, Cassandra Clare. These are the old school Shadowhunters though, and just as fabulous as all her other series. I feel like I've spoke about Cassie a lot, so I'll shut up about her now. This one is The Fallen Children by David Owen. This is one of the best books I've read all year. It's about a group of girls that wake up and find that they have been impregnated by a mysterious being. And then the last thing is On the Merits of Unnaturalness by Jackson Hall. This was a exclusive if you pre-ordered the Mime order, I think it was. And there was only a few hundred copies made, so I am so happy to have this. It also has this on the back. Hello, blog name. And then over here we just have a few notebooks. This is a Mother Gothel one from Rapunzel. It is beautiful. And then a few little trinket boxes. Now this section is going to be really tricky for me to do and probably a bit shaky because it is a bookshelf high on the wall and I'm having to balance on my sofa to film. So here we have signed first editions of The Bone Season, Mime Order and The Song Rising. Samantha Shannon is one of the most brilliant writers. I wouldn't say these are YA books. I'd say they're more adult fantasy, but they are sensational and focus on Paige. She's a clairvoyant and clairvoyancy in London is illegal. We have American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. I haven't read this yet, which is kind of a sin because my husband bought it for me 3 years ago. We have the Hunger Games series. They need absolutely no introduction. We have this signed copy of Henry V by William Shakespeare. It is signed by the wonderful Jude Law, who I was lucky enough to see in the production. We have a random Dexter book. I'm not sure why that's here. We have a sampler of the Mime Order, signed by Samantha Shannon, of course. We have copies of Antony and Cleopatra and The Tempest by William Shakespeare. We have a copy of Half-Bite by Sally Green. I absolutely adored that series, but the last one was such a disappointment and I hated the ending. We have The Hobbit by J.R. Tolkien. Mysterious Skin by Scott Time. Now that book is sensational. I actually read the book because the film with Joseph Gordon-Levitt in was out of this world good. It tackles some really, really hard topics and it does it beautifully so. Now this is a notebook that I picked up in Benidorm. It is amazing. Now apart from this book, which is a Tim Burton's thought journal, which by the way lights up and is amazing. Just realised I have way too many notebooks. But all the other books on this shelf are special editions, so we have Frankenstein, King Arthur, the Bronte sisters, Dracula, Edgar Allan Poe, The Christmas Carol and The Picture of Dorian Gray and other works by Oscar Wilde. Here are my haul books. whatever books I acquire in the month go here for me to do my haul video at the end of the month, and then they'll go into the bedroom for another pile to form. And of course we have the No Safer Place book club here with a random The Nowhere Girls in the middle. My arm is really freaking hurting after that.